Does my face look puffy? Oh man.
Surprise.
Guys, it's happening. Um, okay, are we all ready?
We are ready.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. This is Nikki. I'm gonna start us off because this was my idea. But this is a episode about tragic expirations in books. So be warned, there are spoilers in some of these, so proceed with caution. And I'm gonna start off, I suppose, with my tragic expirations and why I still think about them, how they kind of like still sit in my mind to this day, even though I've read them a long time ago, or um, I guess one of them was recent. But anywho, onward and upward. My first one, I have three. My first one was the death of Nehemiah. Am I saying that right? In Throne of Glass. I don't know about you guys, but that one still lives in my mind because she was just okay with getting herself killed to force Selenia. Am I saying that one right?
I think it's
Selena?
Selena.
You know what?
Selena?
Every book is,
But does that
nothing
matter? It's all up to your
No.
interpretation.
not even real.
I
Yeah.
think it's actually Nehemia in the audiobook.
Nehemia. Nehemia. Okay. She's just cool getting herself murdered for Selena's benefit. And that seems pretty insane to me. And I also like I don't know about you, but also like the brutality of that like lives in my mind sometimes.
Yeah.
And like her Selena's visceral reaction to it. And honestly, I was thinking about it because we were having to do this podcast. And I feel like, oh, I'm gonna butcher this one too. Kale,
It's
I
Kale.
think it's Kale. Yeah.
Fucking
Kale,
stupid.
Like the
his even
vegetable.
his yeah. Even his reaction, I feel like was super telling. And I didn't realize it at the time, I guess. But it was just wild and it still sits with me. And I think that's why I ended up liking Selena a lot, especially in like the book right after, because she is just like pure despair, like doesn't know what to do with herself. And I feel like I resonate with that because when something tragic happens, I am pure despair as well. I can't rebound quick.
Yeah, that one was
Um,
tough for sure.
yeah, so I don't know. That one definitely
I
sat
hate
with
the
me.
best friend ones too. Like, I don't know why that's
Right.
like extra brutal, but to me, like when you have like a character that has such a like good relationship with another character and then they end up losing them, like it just makes it for such a more tragic read.
Well,
Agreed.
and I think it makes me so angry, which I feel like was the intention, but
Mm.
it makes me so angry that she's like not in the rest of the books. Like, when like Selena calls in all these favors and all the people that she's come across in her
She would have been a
life.
good one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it just would have added to the group.
Mm.
Yeah, because like Airway, is it Airway or what? I don't know what Elway is kind of like
Mhm.
not in it after her, and I feel like they do kind of like I don't know. Sarah J. Maas does kind of like a disservice to like Nahimia and her people, and I get why
Mhm.
because they're like they were the ones that were the hardest hit, but I don't
Mhm.
know, like with her death, it kind of made like their story sort of disappear, which bums me out because I think she could have
Yeah,
done a lot with that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's hard as an author, but that would have been a very interesting like storyline to like keep going and
Hmm.
I don't know. So that death definitely sits with me. The other one I have is not necessarily a death. It's like very strange. And I'm not sure if you guys have read this book, so you'll have to tell me. But it is the death of um oh, I'm forgetting her name right now. Hold on, let me reference our
Serenity,
note.
perhaps.
Serenity, yes. I haven't read this book in a long time,
Reading our
but it's part of the Fallen World series. It's like the Queen of All That Dies is the first one, I think. And so she like towards the end they have this like great romance or whatever, her and the male main character. And towards the end, he like you find out that he gets the like cure for cancer and like these longevity pills and whatnot. And he basically is obsessed with her and like she hates him throughout like the first book, but she like marries him to foster world peace because he basically like blew up the world and it's awful. And she hates him, but she ends up like starting to love him. It's a very strange book, but she got cancer from one of the nukes that he dropped like years ago. And so then he has to like deal with the fact that because he ends up starting to like really love her. And then he has to deal with the fact that he was the cause of like her death,
Mm,
basically. But
man.
he puts her in this pod to heal her because he can't accept that she's going to die, right? And leaves her in there for years, like 100, like 100 years, she stays in there and like eventually does heal. But by that time, he's too scared to like wake her up because she never asked for that, never wanted it. And so like eventually she does get woken up. Like that's the last book by this like rebel group because I mean things have really changed in 100 years. But that sits with me too because how would you guys feel if you just weren't given a choice or your choice was taken away and you were just forced to like be in this cryopod and you woke up again when you thought you died
That
like
would
a
probably make
hundred
me want
years
to commit
ago.
murder, bro.
I'd be like, why didn't you just let me like die?
Yeah, just let me go. Well, and the thing
Yes.
is that now everything that she knows and that she loves is gone as well. Like,
Yes.
so I
Mhm.
mean, like, no, no thanks, man.
I
Like,
mean, they were living in a very dystopian world where like people were dying all the time. So I like she was no stranger to death. So even if all her friends and like family, I guess, were dead, I don't know, I feel like she handled it, but she does wake up and kill a bunch of people. So
Yeah,
maybe
I
she
was like
her
maybe
luck.
respect.
I was like, I haven't read that book, so that one sounds interesting.
I think
Mm.
I have read it. I think I've read it with
I
you
think I
years
made you
ago.
read it, Katie.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a trilogy, right?
Yes, and I was obsessed with it for a little while, and I'm pretty sure the author is Lord of.
Khaleesi.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And I
I
love her
remember
other
that book.
series.
And the
Yeah.
titles to those books are so like
Yes.
they're gripping to me. Like the Queen of All That Dies, like ugh, yeah, shivers.
Yes.
Give
So
me timbers.
Jeremy Timber.
Shiver me timbers, love that book.
It's gonna be
So even though, yeah, that is the author. Even though she didn't actually die, that one like still sits with me because I sit there like, what would it be like to wake up 100 years later when you thought you died?
yeah,
Or
that's
like,
intense.
would you call that like the ultimate love, or would you call that like crazy obsession?
No, I like that's
Oh,
borderline ownership there, and I don't want
Yeah.
that type of love. So,
Yeah.
but I hardly ever want the type of loves that I read in romance books. So, like,
Yeah. Very true. Very true. It's funny because I feel like it's funny to like fantasize or imagine, but like I definitely wouldn't want half the
well,
ones
and you kind of
I
picture it
think about.
differently. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, like when I'm reading a romance book, like I never picture myself as like the FMC. Like I like there's nobody in my mind that are better for them, like better for each other than those two characters. Like I never put myself in like the mind of the FMC like, "Oh, yeah, I really like that MMC for me." Like that's not like I don't know, like I read romance because I like the progression of the character.
I'm sure there are some that you wish were good.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm trying to think, but like the thing
That
is
might
like
be
okay,
perfect for you.
like
I'm
I
just
love Resand in A Court of War, but like I wouldn't want him to be with anybody but Feyre. Like, and
yeah,
I sure as hell wouldn't want to be Feyre. Like, you
those
know.
acting romances, dog. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I'm just an observer. You know, I'm just an observer to like the beautifulness that is love. You know.
Right. That's why you want to know everybody's point of view too.
Yeah, because I
Mhm.
don't Like, I just wanna know what everybody thinking, about, like, what's going on, like but that's the thing, like, I don't picture myself in the situation, you know?
Yeah, no, I relate to that, so that's true. I mean, I don't know if that's true for everybody. I'm sure some people definitely like put
Well,
themselves.
Nikki, you like to, right? Like, that's, like, kind of like a joy of reading for you, right? Is to, like, the MMCs that you like or whatever?
I would say so. I don't necessarily picture myself as like the female main character, but if they don't react
The
like
way you want them
how,
to?
yeah. So I guess maybe
Then
I do.
then you're like
I
in a book like boyfriend battle with your book boyfriend.
Well, she's not making the correct decision, so I'm just gonna insert myself into this, like
I think maybe that's why I get so mad because I can't fully insert myself and
yeah.
I'm sitting there like why are we making this decision? Because I would never do that.
That's actually a
And I
great
think
point, and, like, I
yeah,
feel like it makes, like, how you feel about FMCs and, like, sometimes when they're annoying, like, that makes so much sense to me now, it's like a light bulb just went off
Mhm.
in my head.
Why I find them so fucking nuts.
Yeah, yeah, because, I mean, like, in all reality, it's really hard to relate to somebody that you would not make that decision, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, it's just,
Mhm.
it's
Mm,
tough.
Well, and I mean, I like when they make decision, I guess anyone, I like when they make like well-informed decisions, but I know that's not the reality. I know emotion
Right,
drives a lot of decisions. I mean, for me it too, it does.
for sure.
But I don't know, I just value like
Common
knowledge, I
sense?
suppose, and common sense. Yeah. Even though common sense isn't common. Did you know that?
It's a play on words there, it's oxymoron.
Yeah. But anywho, my last death would be I don't know if you guys ever read Fahrenheit 451
Years and years
yeah, it was
ago.
for
a long time.
school or
Mhm.
anything. Yeah. So Clarice is the girl that basically introduces him to the professor, and he like starts reading Guy, and it's in set in a dystopian world where he's a fireman, but firemen now are responsible for burning books
Mm.
because the like population or the society is trying to control knowledge and they're all addicted to these like screen things, and it's wildly like similar, I guess, to issues that we have now. And it's not so far as like burning books, and it was written in a time
I mean,
that
they
like
banning them.
yeah, that was happening. But I just like that one sits with me because she like it's such a dystopian world that they're burning books, and that's already crazy to me. And then they just disappear her, and she's no longer exists. And that is kind of a catalyst for Guy going nuts and like changing his life. And so that one sits with me because, even though she was careful about it or whatever, she couldn't beat
The
the
system?
system, the society.
Yeah,
But
that's tough.
yeah,
Especially
those
when
are
you
my
don't know
picks.
what happened to them, like, that is like,
Mhm.
you're left with the unknown. I think that's especially horrific.
Right. Well, and I mean, he knew, I guess, what happened, but you
Right.
don't like know what happened. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
and it like sets off a chain of events, which is understandable. But
I
anywho,
do like it in books when they, like when something happens and then they just, like, go, like, absolutely, like, batshit or whatever. I'm like, "Okay, here we go. The action's about to happen." Like
I like when they go crazy. I, I feel like I understand when people go crazy more than like if they make poor decisions. Does that
yeah.
sound about like, even though ma going crazy would be making poor decisions, but at least they're doing it with like conviction.
Right. Well, and it makes for a good story too, because then, like you find a character that necessarily wouldn't have done this in the best of circumstances, and then they're
Hmm.
thrust into a circumstance that like alters their brain chemistry or like, how they would, react. So
Hmm.
it makes for an interesting book and
Yeah.
the events that precede it.
Yeah. And so those were my deaths that sat with me. And I don't know, I realized going through all my books, like I read a lot of like romance books where nothing bad happens.
I same,
And I
dude.
feel like
Same.
I need to branch out because I was like, I know there's books out there with some tragic plot line.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like not happy endings. Like I won't read them. Like I've only done it a couple times and it's been on accident, like where I didn't research the book enough, you know?
Oh, I mean,
And
I love
don't.
happy endings and everything, but I feel like the tragic ones sit with you, you know?
Yeah, I
Um,
know. Never
Like
forget.
they really impact you.
For sure, for sure.
But I guess it depends what you're feeling at the time because I don't want to be like bawling my eyes out on a fucking Tuesday for no reason if
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Sleeping next to your husband snoring and you're just like sobbing. Like just saying.
Right?
why crying? Don't ask. No, just kidding.
You don't need to know.
I'm gonna tell you about it though.
I'm gonna tell you every detail.
So you all may feel my pain. All right, who wants to go next?
I am secretly adding a third, so I don't want to go next.
Mad
Mads, why don't you
Lib.
go? Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. So I picked a bunch of popular books because I can't remember anything. So
Mm.
so we're gonna go with the popular ones. So Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin, good old Georgie.
Good old
So
Georgie.
the first death that like really was significant to me, and I think probably a lot of other people. If you guys have you guys seen or read the series or anything?
I've read the
No.
first book, and I will tell you that this death that you're about to talk about, like, literally stopped me from reading any other book after.
Like I already know how this is gonna go.
Is
Like,
this
really didn't appreciate it. Like,
the
And
like Stark guy who died like right
yeah,
in the
I think that's
beginning?
what
so
you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, like immediately Ned Stark, guys. Ned
Freaking loved
fucking
him. Favorite
Stark.
character.
Okay, so this really just sets the tone for the book that like it's gonna go down. Like everybody is gonna die. This guy is like the guy that you would like want to survive. Like he would be like the hero in every story. He's honorable, he's a dad. Like you think he's gonna live, but no, guys. It was tragic. He is beheaded and
Ugh.
they, put his head like on a stick so all his like kids and like everybody can see. Um
Right in front of his kids, too, right? Like, wasn't Sansa there?
yeah, like
Ugh.
and Joffrey, this little douchebag. Sorry, I don't know if this is good for the podcast, my bad, but like he just sucks. He is the one who like orders it to be done. He's this like sniveling, like terrible child of incest. He's just the worst.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, yeah. So this like automatically like you know how this book is gonna go. It's not gonna be good. All right, the next death in the series. So I'm just kind of going like through the series and the significant deaths that like really affect me. Cal Drogo, he is Daenerys' like husband, if you will, although they're like kind of put together in a terrible way. And this like kind of really solidifies Daenerys' like ability to be like independent and like the boss ass queen that she becomes. But it's a really sad death because it's also like her first love, even though they're like put together in this like kind of like forced way, if you will. And I always wondered like what would have happened if he would have survived and if they would have like kind of, I don't know, been this badass like power couple, like destroying everybody. So that's that one.
That would have
And
been
then,
really interesting, like if
I
he
know,
survived.
right? Did
Because
you?
I haven't seen, no, I haven't seen too much of it, but like that would have been really cool. I definitely liked their characters
I
for
know, me
that.
too. I just like hate that they were like forced to be together, but like she kind of
Yeah.
teaches him how to be like a better person and like they end up like kind of falling in love and like finding this like togetherness in like a terrible situation.
Hmm.
And also like she like tries to like cure him and like tries to keep him alive for a really long time, and his battle wound, like he just like slowly like dies, and ultimately,
Oh,
yeah, she smothers him to death
oh
because,
gosh,
Oh.
because he's just in so much pain, and it's yeah.
that's terrible.
It really marks like the start of her independence though, and like her like journey to being independent, and like it, like toughens her up in the worst way possible, as much of like her life does. All right, so this next death made me very happy. And I feel like a lot of people can't say that about deaths. So this is the death of a villain, and that is Joffrey.
That douchebag.
He is poisoned at his own wedding, and like I've never like smiled so
Savage.
much when somebody dies. Like that's how bad like you hate this character.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's
That's
kind of
great.
messed up.
Like, that's great storytelling though, that they like make you hate him so much. Like,
Yeah. And like,
just
oh
for
yeah,
no
like
reason.
I'm pretty sure like the actor like gets like hate still because
Oh, that's sad. I mean,
he
people
was
should
such a
really
good,
separate it. Like,
yeah, like he was such a good actor that like people like it's hard for people to separate. But I don't hate him or anything like that. As a person, like he's just a great actor. But his character sucks. Yeah. And it's very dramatic. It's very like tragic, but like, you know, do you guys think like a villain deserves to die, or do you think, oh, hi, Marlo. Marlo on the screen.
She
Do
really
you guys
wants
think like a character like that deserves to die, or do you think like it was wrong that he was poisoned?
I mean, that's like is that really a question that we get to answer? You know? Like,
Yeah.
are we the judge, jury, and executioner in these types of situations? Probably not. Like, yeah, I mean, like, am I sad he's gone? No, you know, but
I'll tell you what, I feel like when you can be the judge executioner is in a book.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
I suppose that's true. Like, you
Right
know, like,
now, right, right is death, you know, that's the only time. But yeah, I get what you're saying there.
I feel like I don't like want them to die necessarily, but I appreciate when karma comes back and like
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
does
I
her
think I
justice.
I
There's
think I wanted this person to die, honestly. I know that's like terrible, but like it's
no, I
not a
think
real
that
person, so I'm
there's
like,
definitely times where I'm in books and I'm like, if they would have just killed them the first three chances that they had, they wouldn't have any of
Okay,
these problems.
facts, dude. Facts. I mean, there'd be no book, but geez, like all of our problems would be solved.
yeah.
Like, why does everyone have to be so morally correct when it comes to the wrong person? Like, come on.
I mean, but you could like make that argument for like even like, and I know this is going to be slightly controversial, but like Zayden, like dude's venom, off him, get rid
Yeah,
of him.
but
Like,
he's not
right,
act
he's in love with Violet, and then we'll lose two dragons in Violet. But hey, like you know,
but he's also not acting like a shitbag the whole time. You know what I
right,
mean?
It's
right,
hard to like off him because he's not like he didn't start off like evil, like he hasn't been evil. Like
Yeah.
he's
right.
not been.
And
He
he
just
in the books he's like really persevere like trying
yeah.
not to be evil. Sorry, spoiler alerts for you guys.
No,
Yeah.
and for sure. And like I agree with it. Like I definitely think that we shouldn't, but like that's like the argument that like, you know, like we make in books. It's like, okay, like this character's a problem even though we love them, you know,
Mhm.
like if he's gone, then that's one person that doesn't know every single thing that I've ever told them about like our own battle plans and how we do things, you know. Things like that. Like would it be easier if they just, you know, but obviously we're not going to do that. So,
I feel like in that case it would be easier though.
mhm.
Because there's like a lot of like skeptical things happening. Or like
So sorry.
You're good, man.
Mhm.
We lost her.
She keeps hitting the
She was like, I
keyboard.
refuse to let Zayden die. I will not listen to this conversation.
all right.
Yeah, not a fucking fan apparently.
I also am not a fan. You're triggering me, Katie. No, okay, you're probably triggering a lot of people too. Like if this
I'll
podcast
get
like
to
you know
pay
goes
for
live,
sure. Well,
yeah,
I
they're
don't
gonna be
think he
like,
should
Katie's
die.
a Zayden
Like, I
hater.
don't think he should die ever. But
He's such
like,
a Zayden hater.
but that's what I mean. Like situations like that, that like
Yeah.
we
I
It's
could
just
know.
solve all of our problems, but we're
Yeah,
not
no.
going to.
PSA: Katie is not a Zayden hater. Everyone.
Mhm.
All right.
I love him.
Secretly is.
after Iron Flame, I was mad. I won't lie.
I
And
know.
I got all my feelings out in like our like Google Docs, and then after I reread it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna change my tune. Like,
Yeah, because like it really does piss you off that like he even made that choice. Like you could have chosen anything else. Okay. Anyway, the last deaths. Wow, I can't say that. Is a group death, and it is the Red Wedding, where they kill Robb Stark, Catelyn Stark, and his wife Talsia Stark.
who's
And
pregnant.
if you guys have ever seen the series, it's horrible, but it's like even worse in the book because it's like so detailed and disgusting. Um,
Great.
I'm not gonna give you like the details of how they each die, but it's bad. I'll just say that. It's very shocking. It's like another indicator of like how like oh shit, the good guys don't always win here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very brutal, and it like really like puts the Starks, who you think are going to be like this heroic family and like solve all our problems like most books, into basically a shitstorm. So they are very they're like really depleted after that. And yeah, it's really sad and terrible. Okay, so that's the last of Game of Thrones. There's obviously a crap ton more deaths in there, but like those are some of like the worst, in my opinion, or like really significant, or the best in case of Joffrey.
Runs the gamut, you know?
Exactly. Okay, now I'm going to another popular book, Harry Potter. I'll go through these quickly because I think a lot of people know and have read and have seen and probably feel the same way. Sirius Black, uh, when he dies, it's
I'll never get over that.
really, really sad, because Harry Potter and him just like kind of formed this beautiful relationship, and it's almost like a dad that Harry had like never had because his dad died when he was born. Also tragic. Also, let me just make a note that like a lot of these books that we read when we were like really young are so sad.
Yeah.
People be
This
dying.
is a very common theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Sirius dies by being like pushed through the veil, um, by a curse from Bellatrix Lestrange, and yeah, it just is. It's like a turning point. Like things are things are getting serious, and Harry loses like another parental figure. So another terrible, terrible death that I think everybody agrees with is Dobby. That one, like, I think, I don't know. I like actually teared up. Like, Dobby is such a innocent, like, sweet character, and he was essentially like a slave in this series, and Harry grants him his freedom by being clever, and then he like he loves Harry. I think he's always like believed in Harry, so that was really cool. And he basically sacrifices himself and to like help Harry keep going. So
Yeah. That one was tough.
I think
um,
it's the like selflessness of Dobby too that like makes it extra hard.
yeah,
'Cause he just like always thought of Harry.
yeah. Severus Snape. Uh, you guys know why that one's like kind of sad, because Severus Snape was kind of like playing this double spy type situation, and you never really figure out if like, he was. Well, I feel like you figure out that he's good, but like no, he never gets to prove it to everybody else really because he
Yeah.
dies, you know.
Yeah.
And then this one, for all our animal lovers out there, Hedwig.
That one was so shocking. I was like, wait, what? Why no? Like,
He like gets the Avada Kedavra curse when like they're escaping Privet Drive, and I feel like that's another instance where like Harry's innocence is like just again like cut short.
Yeah, and like animals in TV shows or books, like that's always just so extra sad for me.
Yeah, and it's another way to show that like this is serious. Like,
Yeah.
what
Nobody
nobody's gonna.
nobody has the chance to make it out alive. Everybody's on the chopping block.
Yeah, and then my last series is The Hunger Games, of course. I know Katie's going to talk about some of these, but some of the ones that really got to me was Finnick Odair. He dies protecting Katniss, and it's very heroic death. It's very like it's again tragic, and you like wanted to see like what would happen if he survived, you know, and he got to like live out the rest of his life with his
Raise his son. Like
yeah. So that one's tragic. Rue in the Hunger Games. This like really starts the catalyst, I think, for like the revolution.
mm,
Her death really affected a lot of people, including the readers.
yeah.
And then, so those are all of mine. And there's like obviously again Hunger Games. Like it's a book we read in our young adult years, and it's like one of the most brutal, tragic books ever. And I'm just like looking back at some of these, and I'm like, wow, we read some like really intense books back in the day. And but like I think that some of these books really taught us like the importance of you know fighting back or like good versus bad, like moral stances. So like I think it was important as well
Yeah.
to read these kind of books and stuff like that. So
Maybe that's why I only like romances with happy endings now. Because
Because we were emotionally traumatized as young
yeah,
adults.
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm like I love tragedies. I know that's like terrible to say, but
No,
I
but
don't know.
like it really makes you feel something.
Well, and it also like lends to the importance of like, living your life the way you want to and like making sure that, you do everything that, you want to do and just the importance that, at one point, in life it is going to end.
Yeah. Well, I think it just speaks to that like life is a struggle sometimes and it is important to like fight back when you need to and like I feel like a lot of these books are like that and like the seriousness of like that like fighting back can cause or
Consequences.
like that there is evil in the world and like you do need to like make a stand against that. I don't know.
Ooh, you know the part in Hunger Games where they're going to blow up the hydroponic dam or
I
whatever?
love that part. That's one of my
That
favorite
part,
parts.
that part gets me every time because like they know they're going to certain death and they
Yeah. Or even
know that they
the
have to do it.
one in like District 7 when they're like blowing up the peacekeepers or whatever and they all go to the trees and like half of them get shot, in order to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah,
It's like so terrible but like you're like wow like
sacrificing themselves for the cause.
for like the good of like everybody is just like terrible and amazing and like I don't want that to ever happen to anybody but like I think it just like shows like the strength that people have and are willing to do to like for the greater good. So,
Yeah, and I think it like shows like the heart of like humanity. Like in the end, like we do like stick together and we do like each other sometimes, I think.
yeah,
Wow, yeah, I didn't even think about it like that, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're fighting for a cause, and we'll give our lives for the cause and for, our friends and people we're serving with or
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So those are mine.
All right.
dang, got really depressing.
I know. I was like, those are sad ones. I think it's because there's a lot of sad books. I don't know why I do that. I love happy books too, guys. I'm not like,
It's all not doom and gloom over here with Madeline.
but I do love a good dystopian. I'm not gonna lie. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale right now, and it's terrible, and it's so good though.
Yeah, that's rough for this time period right now.
Right.
Yeah, it like a lot of like of the things that are happening in that feel like they're happening a little
Yeah,
bit.
for sure.
Yeah.
I actually
Uh,
just had someone at work tell me the other day, and it was a male too, which was shocking. And he was like, I feel like we're gonna be there in a few years. And I was like, yeah.
Scary.
Like maybe not to like the crazy extent that like the ceremony and stuff like that, but like some of the things that they're like taking away privileges for trans people or like like things like that or like not letting them like people be who they want to be or whatnot. Like I feel like a little bit of that is like happening, so it's like weird.
Well, and
Yeah.
regulating our healthcare and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
And
But
persecuting women for abortion.
right.
yeah.
Shoop.
But I will say one thing. I don't want to live in a dystopian novel, even though I like reading them. I would not like to live in one. So if we could prevent that from happening, that'd be great.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, and
I mean, we
honest,
did just talk about we'll band together. So.
right, right. Well,
Yeah, like you would like these books prepared us, guys. We're gonna stick together.
I won't be
commune is
sticking
in
with
full
you.
effect.
I'm gonna be killing myself before any of that happens.
Jesus, why?
I'm
Yeah,
cutting that part out of the
we're gonna get
podcast.
you. Okay, we're gonna inspire you, Emily, before that happens. All right? Okay.
I'm just not gonna be a handmaid. I can't.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit the other day. It's like, I had a friend over and they were watching it a little bit with me. And, we were talking. I was like, oh, I would never let that happen to me. I would just shoot everybody. And it's like, okay, but you're surrounded by machine guns. You're immediately going to die. Do you want to survive and strategically plan your escape later or plan your revolt later? Or do you want to immediately die and just not live with it? So it's like, you know,
Yeah,
and
I
I
wouldn't
think
want to.
I think I'd want to like survive and like I would, live with it and then I would wreck revenge, baby. Like that's how
Yeah,
I'd
I
want to
can
do it.
burn
I don't know if it would happen though.
for sure.
It would depend on like who my connections were, if I decided one way or the other, I suppose. Like if I
Yeah.
had a bunch of like outside connections and I could actually do something about it, sure, I'll live. But if not, like what's the point?
Right. Well, I think that is the point is like they want you to feel like there is no connections, but eventually they realize, wait, we're like we got power in numbers over here, And also the main character has a daughter, so she has like a reason to live, so that's why she
Well,
really
what do they hold over you? That's the biggest question.
Mhm.
Like, why aren't you doing what you say you're going to do? It's probably because you have something to lose.
yeah. But like eventually I think they, like they realize that like, hey, like, there's a lot of us here. There's a lot of people that don't like this. Let's
Mhm.
revolt. Like, but they really wear them down, man. They like brutalize them, disfigure people. It's
I think the
Yeah, that's
part
just
that they they make each other turn on each other like
yeah.
pushes the fact of
yeah.
them getting. Because isn't there? I don't really remember. I watched the first season like a long time ago, and I never read the books. But isn't there a bit where they like force the other handmaids to like beat the one handmaid because she
Mhm.
didn't follow rules or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they try to like force like the ladies to stone one of the
Mhm.
girls and the main character refuses and then they make her like kind of look like the bad guy because she did this because she has a baby because she's pregnant when she
Mhm.
does this and so she knows that we're not going to hurt her but we're going to hurt you guys because of what she
Um,
did but they end up not stoning the girl, which is like a big like turning point too to show that like hey, we all like don't do this together, but then that's how they punish really in them. So
I mean, there's a lot of things in history where, like people wouldn't have necessarily have done any of those things if they weren't like one, afraid for their lives or afraid for their families' lives. I mean, just being like a history major myself, I mean, like World War II is a perfect example of that. Like a lot of people didn't believe in what like Hitler was preaching, but they just didn't know how to get out of it, not making excuses for them or anything like that, but like that's how these
Mhm.
things start, especially in dystopian novels, because they essentially own you, and they beat you down to where like you don't know how to get out of your situation without one losing everybody you love and your life essentially. So
Yeah.
yeah,
and they do a
forget
really good job of like turning you against each other.
from fear. For sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
I just read Sunrise on the Reaping and like, it's funny as the reader, like I knew what was going to happen like when like the, main character is making these decisions. Like I felt like he kind of came from a place of naivete like because I was like, "Bro, like you keep making these decisions like, they're going to take everything from you." But like he just kept doing them and then like came back and like all of those things that like I thought as the reader was going to happen did and like that's why he becomes what he becomes. So it's just like it's just a bummer. Like you can see it happening as the reader, especially in dystopian novels.
Well, we took a dark turn there, guys, but we are doing a dark episode, so
Trigger warnings for sure.
Yeah.
good to
Oh, I
go.
forgot to mention that at the beginning.
All right, who wants to go
Man.
next?
I think Emily's next, right? She's right after you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I am. All right. So my first, well, it was like multiple deaths, but it's the first Crescent City book by Sarah J. Maas. Very early on in the book, which I think is hard for a lot of people because like you don't expect to lose like a main character essentially or someone connected so well to the main character like literal chapters in like a couple. But anyways, our main character Bryce, she basically like comes home to find that like her best friend and like well her best friend is like a werewolf essentially and her whole pack and her best friend have been like eviscerated, like murdered. There's like not a lot of body tissue even
Ugh.
left. Like
Fucking terrible.
Not only
yeah.
terrible, but gruesome.
Yeah, I actually saw someone like on Goodreads like describe it as like death by honey badger, so like not sure.
Oh,
Jeez.
But
yeah.
yeah, it's just and like it kind of like um destroys Bryce's like whole world. Like Bryce has a family. She has a mom and a stepdad and like, so it's not like this was her family, but I feel like in a way it was like her found family because these are the people that she's like living with every day, hanging out with them every day. Like it was her best friend. So like it um it was super tragic, but it does like kind of start the whole like series essentially because it's like her trying to investigate like why this happened and then like her just unraveling all this crazy stuff that's been going on. So definitely
Yeah.
very sad.
I was really sad about Danica too because like she seemed like such a cool character and like I really wanted like their best friendship. Like
Ugh,
Yeah.
it's a best friend thing again.
yeah.
I just
And like
hate
I wanted
that.
to see how that all went, and like she seemed like a badass too. So
Yeah,
it
I
was like
feel
Yeah.
like I would have liked Danica more than I liked Bryce. So.
Dude,
honestly
same.
I thought the book was gonna be about Danica. So I was like really
Yeah.
confused when they killed her off.
I was like, wait, what? Like,
But I will say Danica definitely pissed me off throughout the series because it was like she kept all these secrets from Bryce, which kept
True.
her leading to
Mm.
finding out more things. And she was just like, God damn it, why didn't she just tell me any of this?
right.
And I feel
Yeah.
like half the book would have been solved if Danica just would have like been open.
Right.
And
Yeah.
maybe we wouldn't have had to read 3, like.
Yeah, that actually
Would have
fucking
been one
sucks.
book.
Which
The
I will
last
say
book
Crescent City was good. Like, I liked
yeah,
Crescent City, but and the second one was okay, but I didn't love the third one, I'm not gonna lie.
dude, the third one fucking sucked ass, and I'm still pissed about it. I am because I
Yeah.
waited like 2 years for that book for it to be just garbage.
And it was really long too. And I
So
feel like I just didn't get the like battle that I wanted.
no, it was stupid.
Like the
But
Is that
only
the last
one,
book
yeah,
that
is,
is in
yeah.
that series?
Hmm.
yeah,
I didn't read it.
Nikki was just like, I'm done. Like,
I'm out.
yeah. Well, and I feel like Sarah J. Maas, this is like going on a whole different tangent, but like she
Yeah.
like used her other book series, like Akatar, to like play into this one. And I think it got the people excited because there's going to be this huge crossover between the two like universes. And like it was barely anything. And it was
Yeah.
so disappointing.
Oh,
So
that would be disappointing because I remember being excited about that, like talking to Katie about it. And then
yeah,
I was excited because I was like, what if the Throne of Glass characters come back? Because that's
right.
my series ever, but
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite series of her. I actually really don't love the other ones. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Throne of Glass, like, was everything to me, but the other ones I'm just like, they're okay. I like them. I enjoy them, but
Yeah. I
I don't
think
get
it
the
was like
feel
her
shit.
way, like for some reason people just all of a sudden discovered ACOTAR and like became obsessed with
Yeah, that
it.
did get really big, right? Like
Yeah, like
It is
so
wild.
not her best series, so
For
yeah.
sure not. For sure not.
It's just like crazy because I feel like, well, I mean, it's smart, on her like
Oh,
marketing
yeah.
side, like for her to pull that in. But I'm just like, I mean, if you're gonna tease us with it, at least give us something that's like worth reading, like because I just hated that book so much.
Oh, I can't. That's fucking hilarious. Well, I honestly think she sacrifices like romance for for plot in the other
Yeah,
two, and then TOG is world building, and the romance is, I would say, probably secondary to the plot, but still so good, you know?
yeah,
Like,
agreed.
so that series is, in my opinion, is just superior.
Yeah, and I guess it depends on like what kind of reader you are. Like if you are
That's true.
more plot driven, then maybe you would like TOG better, and then
Yeah.
if you're romance driven, the other two would make sense. But I guess I'm more plot driven.
yeah,
Right, right.
maybe that's
You're
why I
right.
like Throne of. I never really thought of it that way, but that's maybe why I like Throne of Glass more because I like the
Yeah,
slow burn romance that you're just
yeah,
like you
I
get
do
little
too.
morsels and you're like, oh, crushed my heart, and
Yeah.
then it
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
yeah, when they
And
do finally get together, it's like an explosion in your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, in your
I'm
chest,
like,
not them. Got it.
well, yeah,
Well, them too, but in a different way.
That beach scene, am I
yeah.
right? Am I right?
They
Like
got explosions happening in other places, all right.
Ah,
well, and just the epicness that is Throne of Glass, like the way she ties everything in, and each book builds
Mhm.
off the next one. Like I think she does that really solidly in that series. Whereas I do think she kind of falls off in like Akawar, the third one. Like I liked
Yeah,
it, but the battle just didn't give me what I was wanting. I don't know.
right.
you know, she needed more tragic deaths.
Yeah, right. To bring it all together,
Since
right.
we're talking about tragic deaths,
Yeah.
expirations.
All right. Should I move on to my next one?
Go ahead,
I'm
yeah.
I'm kind of scared to talk about this one because I know you guys kind of said you wanted to read it. So I'm so sorry, but it's the Sword of Kaigen.
Katie, plug your ears.
Oh,
Well, Katie's already
yeah,
read
yeah,
it.
yeah. I know.
I was like, I'm
Um,
sure Katie's already read it, haven't you?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
you're right. Silly me. What was I thinking?
So yeah, this is the Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang, who also writes the Blood Over Brighthaven book. But I will say this is probably the heaviest like grief book I've ever read in my life. The whole book is literally just about like kind of death and then rebirth, essentially like them having this terrible tragedy happen and then just trying to like build back like what they had or even better than what they had before. But I guess I'll start with the heaviest hitter. So we get in the beginning of the book, we get two POVs. We have Misaki, who is like the wife of a family who I'm trying to like describe this in the best way, but like they are like a warrior family. So she marries into this family and their firstborn son, Mamoru, he is the second POV. Well, there's an attack like where they live. And so since they are like the warrior town, essentially, they all go out and fight these attackers. And Mamoru is only 14 and he goes out and fights. And so like I think Katie explained in our last one that they have manipulation over water and ice kind of thing. And so this family's like secret warrior weapon is called the Whispering Blade. And so I think like the youngest person that's ever like conjured it was like 15. And so Mamoru was 14 and he was able to conjure it, but like right before he died. And because the attacker killed him, but he killed the attacker with his whispering blade, so nobody knows that he like
I hated that line too. Like, I'll never get over that.
and
I
so it's just like,
sobbed.
yeah, I don't think I've ever read a book where like one of the POVs dies. Like I
Yeah,
I think
that was
that's the
weird.
first time. So that was really interesting. And it was just like, I don't know, it was just kind of sad because I feel like this kid didn't really get to live like a normal life. Like he was told like, hey, you're a warrior, like this is what you do, and then he died doing it.
Mm.
So that was just like kind of hard because like I don't know, like I just feel like kids should be able to like not be
Kid.
told, yeah, and be a kid.
Yeah.
But that's how that culture like in the book went. So like makes sense, I guess, for the book. Um and then there was like multiple deaths with like this attack. I mean it ended up being like a whole war, but like just this small town like I guess suffered like a pretty intense attack from these people. Um so Takashi, he's the brother-in-law of Masaki, who is like the other POV, like the mother of Memorio, and he has to lead everybody into battle essentially, and he's like the main person, and he like there's tons of these attackers, and there's only like what maybe 20 warriors,
Yeah,
like
not
really a
many.
small amount, like number of this, like, but they're so good so they're like, we don't need a lot of people because we can take down so many people
Mhm.
just from our small amount. But he was the leader, and he basically like told his brother to go back to his family, make sure that they're good, and he like died defending like the front. So that was sad.
I hated that too, because he was
I
like
know.
kind of like the comedic relief throughout the first half
Yeah,
of the book. Like he was kind of like a funny guy, you know?
yeah.
And like I swear to you, I think he died with a smile on his face because like he was like giving them shit
Mhm.
as he was like, attacking. And I don't know,
Well,
that vibe I love,
yeah,
So
and then, like, his, like, wife was like, "No, it's okay because, like, this is how he wanted to die, like, this was his life's calling, like, this is what he wanted." So, like, I feel like she brought such honor to his death, which was really
Mhm.
cool,
Yeah.
um, and I feel like maybe that one wasn't, like, so tragic, like, that was just, like that was, like, kind of what he wanted, like, in a
Right.
small way, like, I don't know, it was just a profound death, I guess.
Mhm.
Um,
I
and
didn't
then
like it, but
no, no, of course not, because this whole family's falling apart because everyone's fucking dying.
Right.
So, it was awful, but, the other one that kinda got me was Yukino Day. He was Mamoru's, sensei,
Ugh.
and that one was hard because, like, of course, he's, like, part of the warrior group, he's, like, defending as well, and he dies, but the thing is, like, his wife, like, was back hiding with like well, she wasn't really hiding with the family. She was hiding in her own home and she like loses her husband. She doesn't know like where he is, like what's going on, and it's just so sad. And I feel like Mamoru kind of looked up to him a lot, and so it was just like really awful for Mamoru to witness his sensei's death. Like I don't know. That one got me. But I guess he didn't have to think about it long because then he died shortly after. So whatever.
I guess
um
that like influenced him, not to go die, but like influenced his. I mean, I'm sure it impacted his thought
yeah,
process and stuff like that.
Well,
yeah,
But
yeah, he did like
I
he
wonder if he hadn't
got in
seen
the
it,
heat of
where
battle, I guess, like, started,
mhm,
like because like, he was kinda floundering there at first, like, he's
yeah,
14, like, why wouldn't you be scared, right? You're terrified.
right, exactly.
That sort of, like, thrust
I'd be a
him
teen.
to
I'd say I'd freaked it out.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then sorry,
Well, I was
you
gonna
can go.
say, like, while these all are spoilers, like, the book foreshadows this, like, so
Yeah,
hard that it's coming, you know?
yeah,
Like, yes, we're telling you that, these characters are gonna die, but you know going in that, like, there's people that are not gonna make it out of this because they are the last line of defense, this town. So, just
yeah,
wanted to put that out there if felt cheated at all.
Mm.
I feel cheated.
yeah.
Just
And
kidding.
I'm probably like butchering the hell out of their names, but it is like Japanese like set, so it's hard for me.
Yeah.
I should have like looked up the names to be able to pronounce them correctly, but I never did.
I
So
think honestly you got Takashi right and you got Misaki, and then I think you got every, because I get the YouTube pronunciation.
yeah.
And that sounded right to me. But there is no audiobook for this book.
For
So.
another podcast, it would be fun to do like, what does everybody call this character? Like,
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
like
Commonly
say how they pronounce
mispronounced
it.
character names.
How do you
Yeah,
miss
we could
I saw
find the
this
most
TikTok video.
crazy one.
Yeah.
Because I swear we probably all say a name different, no matter like what from what book.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, Emily, is like while you were talking about this, I was thinking it reminded me of a couple animes that I've watched.
Yeah, it probably
When
has.
you said it was like Japanese set,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
might really like this book. And now you
I
know
think
going in, so it's not
well,
as shocking, you know?
Nikki's triggers are child death, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe like in a warrior setting though, it would be like different because
It's a little bit easier, I guess, not really, but to reconcile, I won't say because, like I said, I sobbed, but
it's not
Yeah.
easier. But like I think like even like the
the
people in this
culture.
book like know
Yeah.
that like they're very familiar with death and like they know that like I
Have
wonder
you read this one?
no, but I'm just from what I've gleaned from it because like maybe it's almost honorable to die in battle for them. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's how it
Yeah.
is, but that's
That's
It's
kind of
definitely a part of their way of life for sure.
Yeah, it's like the highest honor. Like that's how like I said, like Takashi, like that's how he wanted to go. So
Hmm.
yeah.
His wife was such a badass too. Like she
Dude,
just, I loved
yeah.
her. She's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. And then the last death that I'm gonna talk about in this book, this one was I think the one of the saddest ones for sure. So it's Hiyori's death.
Ugh.
She's Yukino Day's wife. And so during the attack, the wives and their children are like all hiding in their homes. But the attackers, of course, get past some of their defenses. And so they start raiding the homes and like killing whoever. So Misaki, she like she was trained to like wield a sword, and so she kind of has some like defense skills. So she's like, I'm gonna go check on Hiyori because like I don't know what's happening. Just want to make sure she's safe. But when Misaki walks in, she sees Hiyori's son dead on the floor, and he's like little, like he's a small child. So but then she hears like a struggle in the back, and one of the attackers is raping Hiyori, and so she's able to kill the attacker, um, and get Hiyori to like safety, even though she's like freaking the hell out because she knows her son's dead, and then she suspects that like her husband's gone as well. Um, and then it's just like later in the book, like poor Hiyori's just like really going through it. Like she's so depressed, and like it's so hard to like read about because I just like can't imagine like going through like seeing your small child and then just your husband gone as well, and then you are worried because now you're pregnant and you're not sure if it's your husband's or the person
Mm.
that raped you. And so it like months after, she's like going through this depression, and then she finally gives birth to a baby girl, but then they realize it was the attacker's baby because she comes out with powers that aren't Yukino Day's powers. So she takes care of the baby for a little bit, but then Misaki goes over there, and Hiyori ends up like killing herself because and it's like the worst fucking way too. She props like a sword against the wall and then pushes herself into it. And it's just awful. And then her baby kind of goes into like kind of like an adoption orphanage kind of thing, like where the whole town kind of takes care of her in a way. But that one I think was the saddest one to like read about because she just like went through so much, and then to finally realize like this baby's not even like my husband's, and that just like really threw her over the edge. So
Yeah. I
saddest
hated that
one.
part.
that's terrible.
Plus, that was
Yeah.
towards, like, the end too, so it's, like, it's not over. Like, even though
Yeah.
this battle takes place, like, kinda midway, and then you have, like, the rebuild, and then you get this, like, one last, like, knife to the heart, you know? Hated
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Like, loved the book, hated the book. I had a lot of emotions about the book, I'll just say that.
Yeah. I think I like wrote in my notes, I said that this book ripped my fucking heart out. Like I had never felt so sad in my life from reading a book. And like I don't think I read it at the best time of my life either. Like I
Oh,
should have prepared myself to open myself up to more grief, but like I didn't know that was gonna happen. Um and it like still hurts when I think about it. So it's
Yeah,
just it was
sticks
a
with me.
heavy hitter. If you're ever into like heavy grief, definitely suggest it. But
Jeez, yeah, here it goes to pick up this book. If you wanna suffer. You know, and it's crazy too, because like, Book Talk, like, a lot of people will recommend this book, like, it's on their, like, 6-star fantasy reads, and I will
mhm,
say, it is a very good book.
it's so
Um,
good.
yeah, like, it is just it's very interesting, it's very in-depth, you know, and it touches on a lot of strong topics, but it is not for the, faint of heart, for sure not.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can read this.
Yeah. Sorry,
Probably
Nikki.
best for just getting it out, and then that way like,
yeah.
and then you don't have to read it, like, if you wanna know anything, we'll just tell you.
I
Yeah.
thought, okay, that's good. I was like, I could do that.
Yeah, it's definitely super heavy, and I feel like you have to be in the right like headspace to read it for sure. Because otherwise it will consume your entire brain, and it did to mine, and I still haven't recovered, so it's fine.
Yeah, like, I shouldn't have gone in blind, that's all I can say.
Right.
I
I
should have
should have
just
done a
acted
lot.
how I always act and researched the hell out of it, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you
Uh,
didn't. This is all just a
no,
blind read for you.
Wow, you just picked it
no.
up.
I just went for it, dude.
Read the
Mistake.
ending.
Well, it's because I read Blood Over Bright Haven first, and I was like, wow, that was such a cool book. Like, I love how she writes. Like, let me pick up her other book too. And like, Katie had read it, and she was like, it's good.
It's good. That's all you said?
You're right. That's on me, bro. That's on me. I did say, because I was like halfway through and I texted you. I was like, I hate this book. Like, I gotta put it down. But like,
Yeah.
hate in a visceral way that like I have to continue because it is so good, but
Yeah.
it makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Um, but
And
yeah,
yeah, you definitely said more than it's good. Like, you gave me some subtle, like, this book's kind of fucked, but like, I was like,
like, you
I'm gonna.
want to hurt, dude? Like, pick it up.
You want to feel some emotion?
I give
Yeah.
you emotions. I'll give you the worst kind of emotions.
I'll give you the worst emotion.
All right. And then, so my last one, I think it's Katie's read this book, but it's a series. It's not complete. It's called Book of Azrael.
Ugh. This is the worst.
Wait, so
It's
that
fine.
one wasn't the worst? This one's the
This is
No.
this is for me, like, I don't like
It's hard. So basically the main character, her name's Diana. She works for this like evil person named Kaden. And basically like her sister comes down with this like illness. But they're both like immortal. And he was like, I'll save your sister if you just work for me the rest of your life. And she's like, done deal. Like I love my sister. Why wouldn't I do that? Even though Caden's like an awful person, Diana was like, I have to because to save Gabby. So anyways, he kind of just like uses Gabby as leverage throughout Diana's like whole career of working under him. And she doesn't want to do something. He's like, well, I'll just kill your sister. And eventually, he does do that. He kills her on like national television in front of her, and it's horrible. Um, but the thing that happens after Gabby's death, Diana, like I love Diana more so than probably most FMCs because she turns into the villain. She is killing everybody that had any part of Gabby's death. Like she goes on this war path. She burns a whole city down and like just starts killing everyone. And like, is that right? Probably not. But did I love it? Yeah.
Well,
well,
I mean,
and
that
like
was kind of dumb of him. Like as soon as like
That's what
that
I'm saying.
happened,
You
like
lost your leverage, bro.
yeah,
Like,
like
you basically ushered in your doom.
yeah.
Mm.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what we wanted to see though, like to see how far it
Like, I
goes.
just want to see her lose it. Like,
Yeah, maybe there's so many years of just like the temptation that he's like, let's fucking do it.
let's set the
Well,
world on
and
fire.
I don't think Caden realized how powerful Diana was until that moment.
Mhm.
I think that he didn't think that she would be able to do much about it. Like, I think he just did it to hurt her and get her to succumb to his needs. And she was just like, nah, fuck that. I am like, I feel like in a way, she's more powerful than him.
Oh,
And
for
he's super
sure. Yeah.
powerful. So, like, I just feel like he opened up like this huge
Ooh,
disaster.
like Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Also,
Yeah. So like while her death was like super tragic and like I can't imagine like losing the person that I live for essentially, like I feel like it did create like a way to end this like evil.
yeah.
Cycle that she's in, like,
Yeah.
not really living, you know?
Yeah.
I just wish they could have like both killed him somehow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Screw that guy, you know?
yeah.
That's like going back to the conversation though, like, what do you have to lose? And like, what are you
Mhm.
willing to do not to lose it?
Damage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because Diana, like Gabby was the only person that she cared about. So she was just like, well, that's gone. So now I don't care anymore and I'm gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't
Mhm.
that like John Wick too or whatever? Or you know,
Oh, the puppy. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean,
the
fair
only thing
though.
I care about.
Yeah, like everybody's dead now. Which I don't know. Like, I really love my dog, so
Oh my gosh, Katie! Yeah, I think he would kill somebody for Brock,
Yeah.
and
I would
potentially me as well.
no,
So yeah, so those are my top 3 most tragic deaths, even though 2 of them were group ones, but you know.
I think.
Slut.
Those are still
Well,
tragic.
it makes sense though, because like it is in
Right.
battle, and I feel like a lot of books that we read have like that battle aspect to it, especially if they're
Mhm.
fantasy. So you know you're gonna lose some of your like cherished characters that you've been reading throughout the series or out the book.
Yeah, just
Unless it's
wasn't
like Sarah
expecting
J.
it
Maas.
was people.
Usually not in the first 5 chapters though. That's kind of savage, but regardless.
Yeah,
Well, speaking about that though, it's not funny. But I told my mom to read that book, and she texted me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I just love Connor so much," and I was
you're
like,
like,
"Hilarious!" I was like, "I should have warned her." That's all I'm saying. Like,
So rude.
Wait,
and
what
then she
book?
texted me. She was like, "Wait, what? Like, is he gonna come back?" And I was like, "No."
No.
I mean, he kind of does in a small way.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
right.
true.
You do get to see Danica again too, but
Yeah,
not in the way that we
Like
wanted.
ghostly way, sort of.
Yeah.
yeah,
And now Emily's in.
Ghosty boy Connor.
yeah. Now I'm in. I want all the ghosts.
Now I actually really like Connor. Like,
I like him better as a ghost.
oh, sorry,
Uh-oh.
boy.
Oh no, Connor.
It's funny.
Ghosty boy Connor. Okay.
Good on you.
All right, I guess it's my turn. Okay, so the
Katie's got
first.
like 12,000 deaths because she remembers everything.
I
So
know
Like,
it's like a
yeah.
curse in this type of situation though, because like I had to feel all of them over again. Like, so the first one is like one that you wouldn't suspect or whatever, but it is just this random hockey romance that I picked up. And I was like, "Oh, great. Like I love another hockey romance." I was like really in my era at that time. It's called Notice Talons by Remy Rose, and it's her debut novel. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll give her a shot." Heck yeah. This book put me off hockey romances for a good month. Like, couldn't touch them, was afraid. But essentially, you spend this whole book getting like really attached to these two characters. It is double POV, so you get the both main characters' thoughts and like basically their love story unfolds. And the FNC has like a heart condition, so throughout the whole book that you're worried that she's not going to be the one that makes it out of the book. It's kind of the book was kind of advertised at that, but I was like, no way, they're not going to kill a main character. That's crazy. um and then at the very end of the book, I believe it is like the third to last chapter, like the MMC's best friend like comes knocking on the FMC's like dorm or whatever, and she's like, we got to get to the hospital. Apparently the MMC Hayes got done with their hockey game and was like, I'm going to take an Uber back to my girlfriend. I miss her. And that Uber driver got into an accident and he was pronounced brain dead, like when they got to the hospital. And that is the end of the book. Like, that's how it ends. And I was like, never in my life how am I ever going to read another book. Because, like, you didn't know, like, I've never read a book where that's happened. Like, I typically avoid them, you know?
I feel like that's like Fault in Our Stars, where the whole time you're thinking like she's gonna die.
Hazel's
And,
gonna die.
yeah. And then it's Ansel. Well, I don't remember his name in the
I think it's Augustus in the book.
Yeah.
So Gus, yeah.
That was terrible.
That was awful. You're right. You're so right. Which I didn't love that book either. Not gonna lie. I mean, I loved it, you know, but like the not happy ending, I just don't gravitate towards. Like, I need some sort of like happiness. But
Mm.
You know, that kind of made me realize though, like, you know, the cancer like tragedy books, like I'm not interested in reading those, but
Yeah.
I am interested in reading like a dystopian.
That's different, right? Because they're in a like scenario where death is common or commonplace, you know, to the story.
Like, I don't want to read a depressing book about like
When you
people
read
dying.
about real life, that makes it hit a
I
little
mean,
bit harder.
death is common in real life too, so
Well, that's what I mean. Like
it's
when you're
hard
reading a
to.
book that is set in real life, it almost hits harder because like that could happen, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's just like the way of death too. Like dying by cancer seems like something that you just like really like can't prevent almost. Whereas like dystopian death or like that is like you're trying to like fight or die for like a purpose and
There's
like
a purpose to it, yeah.
maybe there's like a little like more hope or I don't even know, but like there's some terrible difference there that
Can't unpack.
can't unpack it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I struggle with like reading like modern things where like or just like anything with this world because it's just like I already work in the cancer field. I see people die like all the time. So it's just like I don't want to read about that.
Right, but I want to escape into my real life. That makes
Yeah,
no
I
sense.
want to read about dying in battle. That sounds better.
Yeah.
Why does that sound better? I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's
because I mean
interesting. Like,
like
why do we view that as more as like a better way to go? You know what I mean? Like,
Maybe it's because it's your choice.
Yeah, and you're not like sick
Like
and
you have some autonomy over it, you know?
and I guess war is glorified a lot.
Yeah, which I mean,
But I don't know if I like glorify it in that way. Like I think like fighting back against like something terrible like feels better. Like if I were to die for that versus like if I'm just like taken out by my own body, you know?
yeah, like something you believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, well, just continue on that vein. Another hockey romance that I just finished recently. It's called A Little Complicated by Kelsey Ray. I did not want to read this book because I knew this was going to happen. But I did go ahead and read it. It's actually the MMC's twin brother that ends up dying, which I think is just an extra special type of horrifying to me. And it's just so like it out of nowhere, like out of the blue. He goes to work. It's another car accident. Is pronounced brain dead, but the main character has a heart condition, and he ends up receiving his twin brother's heart at the very end of it. And it was just like I've never shed so many tears over a hockey romance in my entire life. So.
besides that first hockey romance.
Besides the first one, yeah, because I wasn't expecting it. Like I knew this was happening because I did research the book beforehand. Like I just wasn't going to put myself in that situation. And I did own this book for a good like probably 8 months before I read it. So like I had to put myself in the right headspace like Emily was talking about like before I could even pick it up. But yeah. I feel like I'm gonna skip this next one because it is another hockey romance. So I'll just move on. But and like honestly, it is the same situation. It's The Score by Elle Kennedy. MMC's best friend dies in a car accident, and it just basically like
all these car accidents.
I know all these authors are
Those
mean.
ones are terrible too, you know?
Yeah. I feel like if you are into grief, maybe you should pick up hockey romances. I don't know.
Okay, 3 out of the
Romance, I guess.
400 I've read, these are the ones that stood out the most.
Hockey-themed romances.
Yeah, guys, beware. They're not right.
Oh, they are car accidents at the end.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go more into fantasy because I have 4 fantasy situations. So I picked Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. I didn't choose any of the ones that Madeline chose. I chose Lupin and Tonks because I honestly think this was the most saddest for me
Yeah.
because it's such a parallel to like what happened to Harry. And as if you are aware, Lupin and Tonks basically just have their son before the Battle of Hogwarts. And then they end up dying in the Battle of Hogwarts and they leave Teddy, an orphan, and Harry's his godfather.
And
And
Tonks
I
wasn't
just,
even supposed to be there.
yeah, she came to like be with her husband and it's just so sad. Like that one hit me even maybe more than Fred, which was so sad.
Yeah.
But this was the one that like it was just in my opinion just like so unnecessary and just like awful, and it's just like they can't get away from it, this thought of like, a kid losing both of their parents in some sort of like tragic or torn way. And then I picked Prim from Mockingjay because that
Mm.
still to this day makes me so mad. Like,
Yeah.
because Katniss spent like the only reason she went into the games was to save her sister. The only thing that she does, anything that she, essentially does in terms of the rebellion is for Prim at its base. And then we lose her at the very end of Mockingjay in just like the most like ridiculous way ever. Like even her own people orchestrated it due to like the technology that they were developing, with like the bomb that hits and then when everybody rushes in another bomb goes off to inflict maximum damage, and Prim is caught up in that. So I even wrote just rude, just plain rude.
Rude.
Yeah.
Rude. It
Yeah.
is rude. Like we could have we could have done without that, I think.
I know. I really could have done without that. Like, I'd already been suffering from Finnick, and like that was really sad because again, it's like he just had his son, and then Prim just to top it off, just to drive the knife in deeper. Like, so yeah. And then one that I don't think that you guys have read, or know about. It's you guys are familiar with the Shadowhunters series.
Hmm.
So this is like the series that takes place after Clace, like their ship name,
Clara and Jace.
Clary and Jace, after the big war that they end up. So it's like set in 2017, and it's based upon all around like the Blackthorn siblings. There's 7 of them. Their parents die in the war, and they're taken care of by their like older sibling Julian. And at the end of the book of Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, the oldest sister is killed by like the villain, and it basically just sets off a chain of events for our main character Julian. Like he has a warlock suppress his emotions so that way he can't feel it, and then for the 3rd book he is like basically fighting in his head to like get out, because his emotions are suppressed, and it's just like it's just so tragic, like the whole thing. Plus, he was basically their parent, in this type of situation because he took care of those kids. Um, and then the last one is a Nora Roberts book,
You had to throw one in there.
for sure, for sure. And since
Finish it
you
off
guys,
strong.
right, and since you guys will not read this series, even though I've been recommending it for
Is
literal
it year
years,
one?
I've
yeah,
read it.
year one. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you.
I
Um,
might read it. Maybe.
oh, well, I don't really think this is it's a side character death, but it got me. You know what? I won't say the name then, just in case you do read it.
I'll
Um,
just say it. It's fine.
okay.
I mean, the name
So
is in this Google Doc though, so don't look at
that's
Google.
true. I do describe it. Fair, fair. Okay, so it is the FMC's best friend that she grew up with, has been with her through all of her trials, getting all of her, magical powers and everything like that. They have a really good relationship, and her villain counterpart kills him right in front of her.
Hmm.
And it's like equally rude because they kill him after the battle has been won. so like he doesn't even get to die in battle, like, and that's like why she does it, to like really just like, you know, demoralize our main character. But his name's Mick. But those are my deaths.
Those are my deaths.
All right.
Hope you all sufficiently traumatized.
Yeah, this was a dark one, guys. Why did we do this?
I don't know.
It was good though.
I had like a hard time yesterday just like even thinking about them because I was like, all right, gotta dive into those parts of my brain that I keep locked away, but sure.
Right. Go into the recesses.
Yeah. I mean, we've read a lot of, tragic books. That's what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so is obviously your main takeaway like just avoid hockey romances at all costs, or?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a lot of them aren't like that. Like those were like statistically, they're more about
I feel like that makes them more shocking, right? Because like you're not expecting it, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Yeah.
Right, like you thought you got out of this one scot-free? Hell no.
No,
I thought this was gonna be a
but
fun.
I mean, to be fair, that's how like life is, right? You don't expect a car accident.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
It
And
happens.
that series, the El Kennedy series, is being made into a TV show, so now I'm gonna have to watch that happen.
Nice.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Yep.
That doesn't seem fun.
Nope. But I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people love tragedy, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I like it just because they're romance books, and you know, they're cute, fluffy, like all of that too. But yeah, they do touch on like, you know, kind of realer topics and stuff. So definitely, if you guys ever read them, check your content warnings.
Yes, definitely trigger and content warnings for everyone.
Yeah, for
Everyone,
just this whole
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
We'll put like big trigger warning.
Also,
We got raw and real here, like.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to be shocked by like character deaths, then this is a podcast for you because we'll tell you all about them.
That was the episode for sure.
Right. Maybe I should make the episode more. I mean, tragic expirations. I feel like that's fairly like.
Tragic expiration.
I feel like it's fairly obvious, but you know.
Like expired milk on the shelf.
All right. So somebody send us off, and then I'll stop recording.
Well, I can send us off if you want.
Yeah, send us off, maybe.
Since I started it. Anywho, thanks for listening. We had a great time chatting with everyone. Again, this is Nikki and Katie and Madeline and Emily, and we are overbooked and underpaid, and we just love to talk about books. Any type, all types, all day, every day.
All day, every day. I feel like we should say that. That's funny.
And she
Signing
does.
off.
Bye.